Hey everybody, this is True Disciple bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, and today I am pleased to be bringing you a 2v2 from two of the top teams in Europe at the moment. In fact, we have here West and aNAi, who were recently ranked in the top, I believe, top 10 in Europe for 2v2. I'm not sure what their ranking is currently, but I know that they were ranked in the top 10 recently. And we have ESCDelphi and aAakAra. We'll call him aAakAra. If he pronounces it a different way, like aAakAra or something like that, then somebody can let me know. But for now, I'll just call him aAakAra. This team was actually ranked #1 recently in Europe. They dropped down to rank 2 in Europe recently, and they're in the top 10 worldwide for 2v2. So this should be an extremely intense matchup. Unfortunately, the casting tools do not work for games that are not 1v1, so I can't have the cool little logos and stuff, and we can't see all their supply at once. But I'll try to do my best to keep track of everything going on. So this is going to be a Terran Zerg versus a Terran Zerg, so a mirror matchup, and the map name is Tempest. So here we go. West is starting to wall off the entrance to his base. For those that don't know this map, you should know this map. It has been around, I believe, since release. So you should be aware of this map if you've been playing any StarCraft at all. Basically, you have you and your ally spawn right next to each other, and you have 2 ramps that go down right next to each other as well. So if you wall off right here, you can easily protect your main bases. And as there's a lot of rushes in 2v2 and stuff, you're not so concerned about getting your expansions. Now, if we do look at the expansions, if we do move into the mid-game, the expansions are a bit out, and then you have this kind of large choke, a small choke here and a small choke here that pushes into this large choke that is the only entrance into your bases. So you can kind of pile your armies up, your land army up here to kind of guard the entrance to your base in the mid-game. But you do leave yourself open to double-prong attacks a lot more, as these bases are not so easy to protect. They are quite a good walking distance away from the main base. So that being said, scouts are going out for all players right now. We see ESCDelphi has scouted and found the location of their opponents. And this scout from West has found the location of their opponents as well. So everybody knows where everybody is at this point. I'm not sure if this barracks has been scouted or not. If it's hidden, I think they might be trying to hide it, and they're going for some kind of early push, obviously, as he's got 2 barracks already. And somebody obviously that's watching this is pinging the map here. So I'm just going to I'm going to check the view of aNAi+West. Yes, that's right, aNAi+West, to see if they've seen this. They have spotted it. They know it's there, so they definitely are going to expect some kind of early push, and they're going to be preparing for it. And yes, indeed, they are throwing down. Look at this. West is throwing down 2 bunkers to prepare for this, and completely walling off. Zergling trying to sneak by there, but not able to, because this wall off is now nice and tight. A very nice wall off from West, going to give them some time, and it's definitely what they need to do against this early pressure. They are going to get to pick up this Overlord for free, and that's definitely not worth it. And looks like aAakAra going to throw down a bunker right here, and now this bunker will be in range of these 2 barracks, but we know what West is probably going to do here. Now that he's got these bunkers up, he's just going to pick these barracks up and move them into the back, which is what he needs to do at this point, as this bunker will be in range of these 2 barracks and able to shoot them down. So now he's going to try to take these out, but I think we're definitely going to see West canceling this Marine and lifting this off, or at least he should. I guess they're probably scared at this point of the wall, and so he's just going to bring in some SCVs off the line, as he doesn't want to risk getting any Zerglings running in. There are no Zerglings in the back now. We got Roaches coming out. Let's bring up that production tab real quick and see what's going on there. A Spire is going down for aNAi at this point, and so just to keep in mind, like, aNAi has not been doing anything for defense here at all at this point. West has been handling completely on his own, handling defense, and now he is wasting his SCVs, and well, I shouldn't say wasting. He is using his SCVs to repair and kind of hold this wall in. He doesn't want to lose this wall in. He wants to keep as much barracks as possible. He's going to be throwing some bunkers up on the high ground. He's about to lose both of these bunkers, though, and to this Roach, this massive Roach and Marine push, he's losing both of his bunkers. I really think that West should have pulled it back, but of course he couldn't have known that there were no Zerglings in the back, and now it's too late to pull these back. attack, and I guess so it was a smart play because he could have expected a huge amount of Zerglings from Delphi as he was seeing no units from Delphi. They knew that they had to push from west, and he could have been expecting anything at that point. So, but he has lost both barracks now, a bunker going right up in the front for aAakAra, and aAakAra and Delphi pushing in with Marines and Roach is a very good combination. But now look at all these bunkers, very well positioned, and now Mutalisks on the field as well, and aNAi throwing down some spine crawlers. I'm not sure if those Mutalisks were spotted. I think they were spotted, so they've got to be expecting them, and see if there's anything being prepared on that end. No, just Zerglings and Roaches still coming out for Delphi, and more Marines for aAakAra. And now they're going to push out. They're going to try to snipe this supply depot for free, losing 1 or 2 units there. So I'm not sure if that was actually worth the attack. Meanwhile, these Mutalisks going in to do some harass. They're going to go try to take out this queen. And nice micro there, pulling back the wounded Mutalisk and then pulling it back up, taking out that queen. Definitely a very nice play. And forcing all these drones to move out. No expansions down for any players yet. Just every player playing off one base right now. And these, with only Marines on the field that can really do anything about these Mutalisks, aNAi is going to be able to do some extreme damage. And it might be they might be forced to pull back their units, although with only, I mean, I don't know how many. Let's check the army tab real quick. No, not the army size. The units tab, excuse me. The units tab. So we only have 12 Marines that can actually shoot air on the field right now for aAakAra. And there are a bunch of them going to be pushing those smartly, aNAi pulling away his forces, and he's going to come back up and use them to try and defend. Although now matching up, look at the number of Mutalisks on the field now, and only 3 Marines up here. 3 Marines will not be able to do anything about this. They'll be able to kill 1, maybe 2. No, just 1. Just 1 of those Mutalisks going down. Very nicely defended, and I have to say that this was a beautiful play by West. West was basically able to hold off a push by 2 players while aNAi was able to build up. And so aNAi able to push into this. aNAi would not have. There's no way aNAi would have been able to get this many Mutalisks so quickly if he were not able to focus completely on that. You'll notice he built no Zerglings in the beginning. Only thing he built was 2 spine crawlers for defense, and so he was just able to focus on getting 1 base Mutalisk. Although he's getting his Mutalisk caught in back here, and he's going to lose only 1 of them, so that's not too bad of a loss. But he needs to be careful for aAakAra's Marines, and very smart Marines are extremely powerful. Against... Whoa, what's this? What's going on here? I'm hearing an attack. There you go. Okay, picking off this barracks for free over here. And meanwhile, we see more Roaches and Zerglings pushing up to the front. So, and I think the Marines, they really need to get Stim if he's going to continue with Marines. Although a Thor, a very nice play. Although a Thor, in this level of play, I just don't know if a Thor is a smart move, because all aNAi has to do is magic box these. And at this level of play, we're talking about, you know, top level of play 2v2 players. I mean, in silver, gold, platinum even, you know, Thors are very powerful. But as long as you magic box them, which he's not doing right now, he's just pulling them away. If he magic boxes these, he can easily walk over the Thor. Although I guess with the combination of the Marines, it is a bit much, because you have to micro against the Marines, and as soon as he micros, they're going to pull back together. So maybe this is a very smart play from aAakAra. So 2 Thors on the field now. Definitely very potent. And let's see what's going on here. Let's check the production tab real quick. We got Zergling speed going down for aNAi, so aNAi is going to be using his leftover minerals. And that's why, as I've mentioned in my games before, that's why Mutiling is so powerful. You get these high Vespene costing things, and you're just going to have a lot of leftover. And pushing in, we got siege tanks up for West. And but pushing in, these Thors are just so powerful against siege tanks. Exactly what he needs to go up against siege tanks. So not only working well against the Mutalisks, but working well against also the siege tanks. Extremely powerful against siege tanks with their plus damage to. Oh, I thought they had plus damage to armored. I guess not. But still, doing a lot of damage and able to take those out, no problem. And here come the Mutalisks thing, gonna try to clean this up. He needs to magic box those. He needs to spread those out, or he will lose all of them to those Thors. And there he goes. They're spreading them out a little bit so none of them take extra damage from the Thor, and able to clean that up handily. A very nice play from aNAi and West, able to clean that up. And now it's being fielded. We got more Thors, more Marines, orbital command being formed, so we're definitely looking at an expansion going down somewhere for, there it is right there, and he's going to be looking at probably taking this expansion, or maybe he'll be sneaky and get this one. Delphi kind of keeping an eye out over here with his Overlord to see if there's going to be anything creeping. aNAi moving around. I think he's looking to hunt some Overlords. and scout the map. Some Zerglings going around checking for hidden expansions. Very smart timing in this game. They want to make sure that there aren't any hidden expansions. aNAi going for an expansion of his own now that the fighting has kind of calmed down and they're able to kind of regroup. And man, maybe I can actually catch my breath now. So we see creep tumors going down for aNAi, which is trying to get the spread on that creep. He wants to move out. See, you need to be careful, and notice how he didn't spread his creep in early game. It's very important when you're playing with a Terran or Protoss player and you have a close choke like this, you don't want to spread your creep too early because, well, your partner will not be able to build buildings. West would not have been able to build any buildings here if he had spread the creep, because remember that the creep doesn't just block your opponents, it also blocks your allies, and so you have to be very strategic about how you place that. But now that time has come where the wall-in is no longer important, aNAi is pulling that out, and oh, I missed some harassment here from these Mutalisks, but they were pushed back by the Thor and Marines, and actually maybe there was no harassment at all, as it seems that this that aAakAra has this Thor positioned here at Delphi's base to help protect. Meanwhile, we see a command center is up and running for West, and he just needs to get this saturated. He'll probably be transferring some SCVs at some point. Let's check the income tab real quick and see what we're looking at right there. And what's this? He has moved his spine crawlers up. I don't know why they were pinging the map there, maybe just because they were moving them, and maybe he forgot to put them down, and it would have been the perfect time to attack, I guess. But at any rate, and we see that West and aNAi bringing up their forces, going to kind of siege this area up and control it, but right now they have no defense for this, and yes, they're able to move in, and they will possibly take out this command center. It looks like with the repairing SCVs and the mule, they will be able to keep this and bring this back up, and as soon as it gets within range of this siege tank, aAakAra will be forced to pull back, very smartly pulling back quickly. Meanwhile, we have these Mutalisks moving down. They're going to magic box themselves over these Thors, and as I mentioned before, you see at this level of play, if you just magic box them, if you spread them out like so they're not so that the splash damage isn't hitting all of the Mutalisks. See, now they're clumped up. But if you spread them out like this over Thors, basically the Thor is only hitting one unit at once, and a Thor does not do that much damage against one unit in the air. They have to get their splash damage. In fact, let's check real quick and see what they do. So they do 12 damage versus light, but they do splash damage, and that splash damage is not able to hit if you spread out your Mutalisks, and the range on that splash is very small, so you just kind of have to have them a little teeny space between each one, and they will just destroy Thors. So, but at lower levels of play, it is very smart to use Thors against Mutalisks. So these Thors still, I'm not 100% sure if this was the best play by aAakAra. This might have been a poor decision on his part, but you know what? I can't judge him. He is one of the top-ranked teams in the world, one of the top-ranked teams in the world for 2v2. So I'm gonna just have to say that whatever decisions he's making should tend to be the right ones. I mean, if you're playing on his level of play, then you're definitely doing something right. So, but meanwhile, we see Delphi is not getting his expansion up, and I think the econ will start to favor West and aNAi very soon. West not rallying his SCVs here. He needs to get his SCVs working. But they're moving out now with this ball. aNAi and West have a nice big ball of tanks and Zerglings and Marines and yes, I forgot the name of them, Mutalisks. And even some Marauders up in there to help deal with those Thors as they do that extra damage versus armored. And we just have this very small army now for aAakAra, and they've just fallen so far behind, and now Delphi finally trying to catch up and get that, but forced to cancel that there. And now look at this army that we have here for aNAi and West. This is just a massive, massive army, and I just don't think that aAakAra and Delphi will be able to do anything against this. Delphi is just completely fallen behind because of that harassment from the Mutalisks, not able to catch up in the economy. We're looking at the income here, and we see that aAakAra is down to only 500